Welcome back, folks! Last week, we got the preview of the high-tier Italian medium tanks coming in patch 1.01. We have the Pantera at tier 8, the Leopard Prototipo Standard B at tier 9, and the Progetto M40 at tier 10. So you can go to the main website and take a look at these pictures and models. But for this video, we're going to cover the full stats for these vehicles, other than the collision model, the armor model, because those were not leaked. But it's not that big of a deal because the armor is pretty much non-existent for these vehicles. These vehicles are more focused on sniping or auto-reloading, shooting with a gun, than actual deflecting of the shells. So you won't see something like Object 430U's armor, 250mm on these vehicles. Doesn't happen. So it's mostly focused on mobility and the firepower. But I'll put the timestamp to each individual vehicles into the description below, as usual. But let's get started with the Pantera at tier 8. So here are the main stats that were previewed about a month ago onto the forums. Take a quick look. But these are the actual stats. So it's a 90mm gun. Penetration is above average-ish. So 212 is not bad. About 260 for the gold shell. So not bad as well. It's standard. 240 alpha, standard-ish. So here is what's confusing, is it's Tank Inspector trying to project a new model of the mechanics into the system. So Tank Inspector is not that often updated, and therefore there are a few bugs and whatever, but yeah, there are two reload times. One's for 6.9 seconds, and one's for the different shells in the tray. So DPM should be a cascade depending on how many shells you use, but why is there two reload time for the last shell in the tray in the clip? If it's 6.9 seconds, that's pretty good. If it's 8 seconds, it's not bad. So we'll take a look at the full DPM, but I doubt it's 15 rounds per minute. It's not 15 rounds per minute. That's a 4-second shell reload. That's a bug. That's a big bug. So there's 3 rounds in the clip, in the drum. Intershell reload is 2.5 seconds. Shell velocity is not bad for AP, 1000 meters per second. Accuracy 0.355. It's not great, but you have to think about it as an autoloader. It's a little bit better than autoloaders, sure, but 0.355 is still wonky. 2.21 seconds of aim time, that's good enough. Dispersion, below average across the board, other than full traverse for the turret and the vehicle's hull. It's about a tier 6, like the EZ8 with 0.17. That's about a tier 6 medium tanks dispersion. You are looking for 0.12 or so. 0.11, that's great. 0.1213, that's about the average-ish for tier 8 medium. Gun depression 10 degrees, gun elevation 20 degrees. That's pretty good, but it's not a Panther turret. It's a P43 TER's turret on a tier 8. So not bad gun depression. Turret traverse, hull traverse. It's like a fat medium, so it's below average, but this vehicle should be played like a Panther, sniping mostly or supporting close range when you have cover, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But 31.3 for turret traverse, that might be a little slow. Might be. It's more of a fast heavy tank-ish of a turret traverse, so be careful with that. Horsepower per ton ratio is 15.95, about 16, which is not bad for a Panther chassis, but this vehicle is not as thickly armored as the Panther, so give or take 16 horsepower per ton ratio is not bad for a Panther chassis. 55 kilometers per hour top speed, 20 reverse, also not bad, but terrain resistance, it's more of a heavy medium heavy tank. So yeah, this coupled with the terrain resistance and the horsepower per ton ratio coupling together, it's like a slow medium. I mean, trade-off is about the same as the Panther, so it's not as mobile as you want it to be. Only 1400 health. It's more like the French, 70mm at the front of the hull and 80mm at the front of the turret. Side armor is 35. Side armor for the turret is 45. Rear is possibly less. So Jesus, if you do get hit by the sides, it's like playing with the Lorraine 40T or the AMX CDC. If you get hit by artillery, it's possibly full damage. 1000 damage and like 35 seconds of stun. Wonderful. View range below average, 280. Radio standard camo below average. Well, it does cost only 300 credits per shell, so that's not bad. I mean, usually you have like 600 for the Panther 2, I believe, for the long 88, but it's average-ish. So here is the calculation of the DPM, but yeah, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, and 12, that's what this number is. But why is there a 9 or 6.9? I don't know. That's different. I mean, DPM currently 1800, not bad, but if you put the 6.9, and let's put the same difference for all of them, so 8.9, and this should be 10.9, then it's not bad. If you have the 6.9 into the 8.9 into the 10.9, then it's pretty decent of a auto loader into the auto reloader, but I don't know, it's conflicting, and there's a lot of bugs, obviously, with Tank Inspector, because it doesn't have 15 rounds per minute rate of fire. That's just impossible. That's 4-second reload. No, it doesn't have that. So, it's alright. I wouldn't put my money on it, but compared to the Panther, yeah, the Panther 2 has lower horsepower per ton ratio, sure, but it has better terrain resistance, so basically it cancels off each other. And forward top speed is about the same, reverse is about the same, hull traverse is about the same, turret traverse is about the same, holy crap. But it doesn't have the Panther 2's accuracy, no way. And it doesn't have the aim time, and the dispersion, turning the turret and hull. Penetration as well. It does cost less for the shell price. That's good. I mean, it's like half. Alright, sure, but doesn't have the health. The armor is obviously not there because hull front is 100mm, 120 for the turret front, so view range, nope. What's good about this vehicle? I mean, it's the auto reloading system, but it's not definitive because we don't have an actual reload time. There's 2, so I don't know. It costs like 10,000 credits more as well than the Panther 2. But then again, the Panther 2, nobody plays it, so the Panther 2 got buffed with the E50s, long L100, 88mm. But nothing really stands out for the Panther. Nothing really. I mean, unless this vehicle has like 20 horsepower per ton ratio with better terrain resistance, hell, that might be even worth it, but for now, it doesn't. It has about the same mobility as the Panther 2. It revs up faster, but it gets bogged down a little bit more. So, is that worth it? Well, give or take. Next up, we have the Prototipo Leopard Prototype Thingy-Majig Standard B. So here is the preview, but here are the main stats. So penetration is above average, 268 for a tier 9, that's pretty good. It's like the Centurion 7-1 or the Leopard Prototype, so pretty good 105, but they actually nerfed the alpha into 350. Why? Why did you nerf it by 40? Alright, so 2 reload time, one is 9.877 seconds. The other one is 12, 14, and 16. So, yeah, it seems to be the same difference between the last shell reload of these reload times, but 3 shells in the drum takes 3.5 seconds between each shell, so it's a little bit longer, but it's APCR standard, so pretty fast shell velocity. Accuracy 0.364. Think about it as an auto reloader compared to autoloader. Yeah, it's a little bit better, but not great. Not great. 2.4 seconds of aim time. Also not that great. And dispersion is a little bit better than previously on the Pantera, but still not great. It's more of a tier 7-ish of a spread. 8 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation. Turret traverse, just as slow as the tier 8. Hull traverse is a lot faster. So yeah, this turret traverse might be a big problem. So you should still focus on sniping, even though the accuracy coupled with dispersion is not that great. So but 21.19 horsepower per ton ratio, not bad. 65 kilometers per hour top speed, 23 reverse, also not bad. Terrain resistance is a little bit better, but it's not the superior 0.7, 0.6 for hard, and about 0.8 for medium, and about 1.2 for soft. So it's not that standard, but it's faster than the Pantera, obviously. 1700 health, no armor whatsoever. 390 meters of view range, a little bit better camo. A shell price increase, a little bit like triple increase, or quadruple increase. About the same weight. Gold shell is 330. Nothing really stands out yet again when you think about it. I mean, it's fast, a lot faster than the Pantera, but I don't know. I mean, rate of fire is also bugged. It's not 10 rounds per minute. That's a 6 seconds reload. That's impossible. So, I mean, unless you unclip all the shells, but I doubt it. But yeah, nothing really stands out. It doesn't stand out as super fast of a medium. Not really. I mean, compared to the Batchat AP, 25T AP, it's not that fast with the autoloader. But yeah, it does have a 105 with high penetration for the autoloader, but well, let's take a look at the calculation. So 12, 14, 16, well, let's change it. So 12, 14, 16, they nerfed the alpha compared to the preview. Whoops. Still 3.5 seconds of intershell reload time. DPM is not great. 1750. Oh, well, note this. It takes 30 seconds to load 2 shells into the clip, and 42 for the total of 3 rounds into the clip. The average DPM of a tier 9 medium tank compared to this, about 700 less. That's like half of the health of a tier 8. That's... Why did you nerf the alpha? You don't need to nerf the alpha. Why? Why, Mr. Anderson? Why did you persist on nerfing the alpha? Well, let's compare it with the Leopard prototype because it's about the same. So basically, they nerfed the alpha. It has like 700 less DPM. Whoops. What about ammo count? About the same ammo count. 58. Yeah, 58. Same ammo count. That's good. Same shell velocity. Alright. Not as good accuracy, obviously. Not as good aim time, but better dispersion because... Jesus. Yeah, Leopard prototype and Leopard 1 doesn't really have that great of a win ratio. Actually, they have one of the worst. So yeah, dispersion actually a little bit better. Same gun depression, same elevation. I presume the same glitch or the weirdness with the back because you have the gun depression at the back, which the engine deck blocks you. So, wow, this turret traverse is also pretty slow. But as you can see, the engine deck blocks your gun depression at the back. So, It's a weird circle picture diagram of the gun depression. Yep. Back is like no gun depression, and they're like 5 degrees somewhere. Oh well. But yeah, this turret traverse 31.3 degrees per second. That's slow. So yeah, it feels slow with the 38. It will feel a lot slower with the 31. Horsepower per ton ratio, it's the same with the Leopard prototype. Alright. Same hull traverse, same top speed, same terrain resistance. Never played the Leopard prototype, but mobility wise, it's a Leopard prototype with a gun, with a different gun, basically. Same health, same armor, mostly. Not as good on turret front for the Leopard prototype compared to the Prototipo. So, might be able to bounce like 1 or 2 rounds onto the mantlet, but not as good view range for the Prototipo. Same camo, same shell price. Cost 50,000 credits more. Weighs the same, surprisingly. So it is basically a Leopard prototype with a funkier turret and the auto reloader system. Does it stand out? Well, Leopard prototype and Leopard 1 doesn't really have that great of a win ratio in the current meta, but that's going to be changed with the new maps. So who knows, but this accuracy is going to be one big problem compared to auto reloaders, well, and autoloaders, but the DPM as well. DPM is not great. It's not great based on my calculation, but if they do go for the 9.8, so let's go for the 9.8. Whoops. 9.8. This should be 12. So basically 11.8. About. Based on this difference between the 9.8 and the 12, so we should have like 13.8 for this one. But if it's like that, it's a lot more respectable of a DPM. Yeah, a lot more respectable. If it's the 12, 14, 16, that's pretty bad. That's, yeah, not great. Well, we'll see, but it's a new system, so tier 9 medium tanks usually have a lot of DPM or a lot of penetration. In this case, it's a lot of penetration. It's not as comparing it to the Patton or the T54 or the E50. Those have lower penetration, but a lot more DPM. So it's more of the same category with the Centurion, with the AMX-30, but then again, the AMX-30 and the Type 61 usually have a little bit more DPM than the Centurion because they don't have that much more accuracy than the Centurion. But give or take, it's basically a Leopard prototype with a fancy auto reloading system, so give or take. And finally, we have the Progetto M40. So here are the preview stats, but here are the main stats. So penetration is the same as with the tier 9. They nerfed the alpha as well, so 350, but there's 2 different reload timers as well. So one is 8.3 seconds, which is very respectable. The other one is 11, 14, 18, and 20, which is not respectable. It's not great. So who knows, but rate of fire 13.8 rounds per minute. That can't be true. Well, who knows? It might be bugged, but 4 rounds in the clip. Takes 3 seconds between each shell. Alright. Shell velocity is fast. EPCR. Accuracy gets buffed compared to the tier 9. 0.345. 2.21 seconds of aim time. It's a little bit better. But dispersion is more of a tier 8 now-ish. So it's better-ish, but 9 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation. Turret traverse is still somewhat slow, but hull traverse is a lot faster. 20.75 horsepower per ton ratio. Alright. Top speed of 65, reverse of 23. Terrain resistance, a lot more respectable. 0.767 for hard. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. For all the medium and the soft terrain resistance, that's fine with this horsepower per ton. It's not crazy. It's not as fast as the Batchat because the Batchat has 28 horsepower per ton ratio. But yeah, it's alright, I guess. But it doesn't have armor. 70 at the front, it's well sloped, but 70, give or take, it's like 150, right? You'll still get pinned. But yeah, alright. Ammo rack has a lot of health, that's good. It's standard health, I guess, 1900, so it's a little bit better than the Batchat, but not that much. Turret front, 120, so it's not that bouncy of a turret. Don't haul down with this vehicle. 400 meters of view range. Alright. 24.7% camo rating while stationary. It's not as great as the Batchat, so it's more of a leopard-ish of a camo. Alright, so it weighs about 40 tons. That's good. I mean, you could go ramming, I guess, but you only have 70 millimeters of the hull front, so yeah, it's basically like the Tier 9, but smaller improvements overall. Not that crazy, but let's compare it with the Batchat, just for funsies. So penetration is obviously better, but not as much alpha. DPM is a cascade, so we'll take a look at the DPM, but Jesus. So if we follow the 11, 14, 18, 20 seconds, it's going to be rough, but 11, 14, 18, 20, ugh. Oh, nerf the alpha, obviously. Oh. God, 1900 DPM. Are you kidding me? That's garbage. So what's funny is, it takes you 38 seconds to load 2 rounds of the 105 for the clip, for the tray, whatever. But each shell only deals 350 for a total of 700 damage potential in 38 seconds. You know what else reloads in 38 seconds? The Batchat. It has 5 rounds that deals 390 alpha, not 350. It's faster between each shot as well, 2.73, 2.75-ish of a seconds between each shell. And you will go on a reset with the reload if you unload the 2 shell. So if you already have the 2 shells in the 38 seconds, if you want to shoot those to defend yourself, well, the next shell will take 20 seconds to reload. Whereas the Batchat will probably clip you out because their potential damage is 2000 minus 50. So basically about how much health you have. So they will burst you while you deal only 700 to them. Yeah, don't go trading, don't go trying to take key positions starting right off of a match, starting off a battle. You don't want to go into key positions and try to take a hill or take a ridge. It doesn't work out well for you. Jesus, this reload time, 38 seconds for 2 rounds. That's garbage. That's terrible. Oh, but yeah, accuracy better than the Batchat, faster to aim. It's better dispersion. Yeah, better dispersion, better gun depression, better elevation, same view range, not as good camo. All right, shell price is the same, but yeah, it deals more alpha for the Batchat with the same shell price, so therefore you lose out on shell price per damage. Obviously, not as fast to rev up as the Batchat, so 28.5-ish compared to 20.75. Terrain resistance is better, but not that much better. Same top speed, same reverse speed, a little bit more health. That's pretty much it. It weighs more. I don't know, I mean, if they go by the 8.3 seconds reload time, it might be a lot better. So let's take a look. 8.3 compared to 11, so that's 3 seconds-ish. So 10.3, about 15.3-ish, maybe 16.3. I messed up on the math. Oh, it's minus 3, right, 17.3. My mistake. So yeah, it might be a lot better, if you have 8.3 into 10.3 into, actually this should be 11.3. Math is bad, but yeah, it might be a lot better if it was 8.3 into 11.3 into 15.3 into 17.3. But if it is 11, 14, 18, 20, that's pretty bad, as you saw. So yeah, it's a lot more respectable if it's the actual reload time. So who knows, but it might be a bug system. It might be a troll with the cascade of the DPM reload time. But yeah, 11, 14, 18, and 20, that's pretty bad for a tier 10. It takes 38 seconds to load 2 rounds, whereas for the bad chat, it already finished reloading. Yeah, 39 seconds to load the 5-round clip. It deals more alpha, has a faster intershell reload time. You're not going to outburst the bad chat, so might as well play with the bad chat, right? Or compare it to the Skoda TVP T5051. Accuracy is also not as good as the T5051. Same goes with the aim time, but better dispersion. Wow, never realized it has crappy dispersion for the T5051, but the T5051 is about the same in terms of terrain resistance, but slightly faster to rev up. Slightly. But you cannot compare the DPM. Just no way. Jesus. 35 seconds to reload 2 rounds into the clip. Oh my god. Yeah, that's horrible. And there you go, folks. The actual stats for the high tier Italian medium tanks with the auto reloaders. So if it follows more of a closer DPM, closer rate of fire to the conventional standard single shot, then the DPM will be a lot better. So if the reload time for the last shell is like 1 or half a second closer to the standard single shot vehicles, then DPM will be a lot better. But if it follows the actual like cascade of the reload timers on the stats page, then holy crap, the stats are pretty bad. Really bad. 38 seconds for 2 rounds. That's terrible. I mean, yeah, it takes like a little bit more time for the full reload of all the shells, but really, in 38 seconds, the bad chat will fully load the 5-round clip. Has more alpha, has faster intershell reload time, and doesn't get resetted with the reload, because if you fire the 2 shots, it goes back to the 20 seconds reset for the first shot, because you're loading the first shot. That's crap. Jesus. So who knows, but yeah, we'll have to wait for the actual release of these vehicles and the adjustment of the stats, but we'll see. So Tank Inspector is data mining from the Super Test server, but it is bugged because it's a new mechanic. So it's the same with the siege mode back then, and Tank Inspector gets bugged out, so we'll have to wait. But yeah, it's a very big variable having like 2500 DPM for a tier 10 or like 1900. That's a big difference. That's a very big difference for a vehicle that doesn't have that much of a speed compared to the Batchat or Camo and doesn't have armor. If this thing has armor, sure, I'll shut my mouth, you'll take it. If this thing has impenetrable turret front, like the Object 430U, and relatively pretty good upper plate, yeah, sure, it will be pretty decent. But it doesn't. It has no armor, only 70 at the front for the hull, 120 for the rounded turret. It's about like 170 effective. You'll pin. With almost all the guns at tier 10, other than artillery shells. Yeah, if you do get hit by artillery, you'll get like 25 seconds of stun, 400 to 500 damage. It's not going to feel good. It's not. So what's the appeal? The flexibility? It goes down to the DPM. So we'll see how the developers tweak with the DPM, but if they change it to like the actual cascade of the numbers and the DPM's like 1900 for a tier 10, no, nobody will play it. It's basically a Leopard 1 or Leopard prototype. Nobody will play it. The same goes for the 113 GFT. Nobody plays it because you are in a world. It exists in a world of Object 268 version number 4. The 113 GFT doesn't survive. It gets eliminated based on evolution, based on evolving and stuff. It just extinct. Doesn't exist. So there you go, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review, but it's a little bit lengthy because we're talking at high tiers. We're talking at the in-game vehicles for a new tech line. Obviously, we have to go into a little bit more detail, so hopefully I don't put you to sleep, but yeah, 38 seconds for a reload of 2 shells. Are you kidding me? It's terrible. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
「愛で空が落ちてくる」